Welcome everyone to another edition of your morning workout talk brought to you by your literary pharaoh. It's Friday, people. Going to the gym. It's early as heck though. Right now it's 4:11. I really never leave this early, but I'm leaving early just to be able to sit in the parking lot and relax and meditate to get myself ready for this Friday. And speaking of Fry here in Houston, it's going to be there's gonna be excessive heat. So I hope I don't fry on Friday. They said it's gonna be like 92, 94 is gonna be the high, but it's gonna feel like 105, 106 due to the heat index. So, in other words, heat index, that's another word for humidity. That's when your body doesn't, your pores, your body's not allowed to breathe. It seems like you're in a slow cooker due to all the humidity. So you end up having excess. You end up sweating more, and you're gonna need to hydrate a little bit more because the more you sweat, that's your body telling you that you need to hydrate, that you're dehydrated. So whatever you lose, you have to replenish it. You lose liquids, you refill yourself with liquids. But yeah, yesterday was my daughter's ceremony. She was leaving. Actually, speaking of ceremonies, I believe, what day was this? I'm getting my days mixed up here. Was it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday was my 9-year-old's daughter's ceremony. She was going from 4th grade to 5th grade. So I'm proud of her for that. And then yesterday, Thursday, was my other daughter's ceremony. She's leaving preschool to enter kindergarten. And a lot of people call the places that they take their children daycare, but this is not actually a daycare. It's an early learning child center, and it really lives up to the billing. It lives up to the name. It's not, a lot of people call themselves an early learning child center, and you go in there, it's nothing but a madhouse. But me and my wife really loved this school, and it's a school in every sense of the word. My daughter has learned more, and I've been to certain preschools, and I've seen what they do in there. And I would argue and say that the things that they were doing with my daughter at this early learning center was much more than what those other preschools did and do. The other preschools that I've seen, they run and function more like a daycare to me. So I'm very proud of my two daughters. And yeah, so my 5-year-old will be starting kindergarten this coming fall. And my 9-year-old, who's soon to be 10, she's going to be starting 5th grade this fall. So congrats to both of them. So yeah, I've been doing my daddy thing. Yeah. Man, it's so peaceful when it's dark out here. And this is I heard a guy came on my feed. When you scroll through your phone and you look through your shorts on YouTube, and it was this guy saying, "Look, I don't go anywhere." And for the first time, I've heard somebody that's just like me, and I feel normal now because sometimes when you feel a certain way and you don't think that, and when you have this perception that everyone else around you doesn't come close to thinking the way you think, you start to kind of think that am I different? Am I that different from other people? But no, there's too many people on the planet for you to be that different from everybody. All right, they're gonna be some similarities there that you cannot evade. And this guy was on YouTube on a short saying, "Look, I don't go anywhere." He had like grill in his mouth. I think he looked like he was a rapper, but I'm sure he's not. But he had the look of a guy who raps, but I guess he doesn't. I don't know who he is. He was just like, "I don't go anywhere." And then the guy who was talking to him was like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "Even if I'm bored, I'd rather stay at home bored than just to go out somewhere just to have fun. I'm a homebody. I don't go anywhere." It was like, if is if people come see me, their family, and if I know your name, your family. And I was like, wow, thank you. Now, when he said I don't go anywhere, that's hyperbolic, right? There's no way that he's going to just stay in the house 24/7 for the rest of his life. That's not what he means. What he means is that we live in a culture where most people are always looking without. When I say without, they're always looking on the outside. They're never looking within. You have within, which is in the inside, and you have without, which is on the outside, right? And these people are always looking outwardly. Oh, I gotta go here. I'm going to this vacation. Oh, they're having a fun park over here. Or they're doing this over here. Or they said they're gonna have this over here. Or there's a concert over here. Or I have a vacation plan. Like, everything is out. And they spend so much time chasing the external things. Little do they do anything about their internal faculties. Because what people have come to believe due to this matrix hypnotic system that we're under is that they believe that there's something outside of them. Same thing with religion. Same thing with people going to church every day, getting on their damn knees and praying to some unknown God or something out there that's going to help them. People are always, they have this mentality, all right, a fixed mindset that what's on the outside of me is going to do something from the inside of me. And we don't understand the kind of sovereign power that we have, that we are gods and we are governors of our own reality. And so when that guy said I don't go anywhere, he doesn't mean that he doesn't literally go anywhere. It just means that, and I can read between the lines when a man says something like that, because I'm like that. Like right now, I'm going to the gym, right? I'm in my damn car, I'm driving, I'm going somewhere. If I told somebody I don't go anywhere, then that would mean that I don't go to work, I don't pick up my daughters from school, I don't take my children to any fun activities. I just say, no. What that guy was trying to say is that, and what can be implied, because he didn't explicitly come out and say it and give out the details, he just simply said, I don't go anywhere. Meaning that there's nothing outside of my house that's going to bring me joy. I remember we had because a lot of people think that there are things outside of their home that's going to bring them joy. Like if they go to a specific place, or they go to a specific vacation spot that they've been dreaming to go all their lives, or go to some cruise, or travel here or travel there. Look, I don't mind traveling, but I don't think that I'm missing out on anything because I don't do it. That's the point. When that guy says I don't go anywhere, in other words, he's saying my contentment and my joy is not predicated on me going somewhere. I'm fine where I am at. I'm okay here. I'm fine where I am at. There's no need for me to chase anything. All right, that's what he's, in a nutshell, that's what he's essentially saying. And that message truly resonated with me. I'm like, wow, like that's good stuff. That's the way I am. I remember my wife when it was like, we don't do nothing. She was like, you don't like doing nothing. I'm like, yeah, I like doing something. I just don't like doing what other people do. Majority of people do. I've always been that way. You know, I've always been that way. I don't like, the only time, probably when I was younger, because I was just lost, man. I look back at my youth, I'm like, damn, what the F was I thinking? Like, just going, like, partying and going to clubs and stuff when I was younger. That was it. But I never had this need to, like, travel. I never. I abhorred it. I don't like it. Like, people love long road trips. And to me, and there's nothing wrong with those people who love that, because that's therapy for them. But it's therapeutic. Some people love the long, road trips. They like taking 16-hour drives to different states or to a different state to see a loved one, or get in an airplane and travel to another country and sightsee. Like, I'm not going to put my money towards things like that. Because I think that no matter where you go, you're still taking the same garbage with you. In other words, whatever you're going through, it's still in there. It's still in your brain. It's still in you. You can't escape yourself by running. You can't escape your problems by going somewhere else. Now, you may get temporary relief, because change of scenery can sometimes impact the emotional state. That's temporarily. Long term, you're still going back to your domain. You're still going back to your natural ecosystem. You're still going back to your natural life. What are you going to do then? Do your problems just vanish and disappear? See, that's the way we become as human beings. We seek temporary fixes, and we evade the long-term approach for a long-term solution. So what do we mean by a long-term solution? Meaning that a long-term solution means that you have to continually work at it. See, we look for quick fixes. We think that, hey, if this is wrong, let's add this, and this takes it away forever. No. Life is consistently a means of working. Working is hard. I mean, a rapper once said this. I think it was 50 Cent. 50 Cent who said this. He says, dying is easy. Living is hard. So if you're going to be living, if you want to be alive in a sense of being alive, of being aware, and never feeling the need for anything, truly being a true stoic, a deep critical thinker, taking things as they come, not operating on either extremes, incorporating balance in your life. If you want to really live, then it's going to take continual work, a consistent working at it. Like, it's not something that you just, okay, I went here, I'm going to travel. Or, you have the women who get emotional and they go shopping for therapeutic reasons. How is that working for you? You deplete your bank account. You can use your money for something more constructive. You go shopping, you buy things that you necessarily don't need, because as Americans, most of us are living in excess. It's a symptom of a spoiled country that doesn't have its meter or its gauge on the true issues. But it's because of the culture we live in. People are always seeking more and more. It's the greed factor. The reason why it's the greed factor, because those that control us operate off that paradigm. They operate off that paradigm of greed. So therefore, those that are underneath that rule, okay, begin to envelop and develop those types of characteristics of greed and excess. Think about it. You owe something to a company, or you owe something to your credit card company. They start to add interest. It's greed. It's greed. Like, we want our money. Everything's money. Anything, everything. Gas prices go up and down. They fluctuate. I mean, we live in a system that's based on greed. So it's only apropos and appropriate for those that are governed by greed to start to be influenced by that same concept of greed. So yeah, so you have women who go out there and say, hey, I'm gonna go shopping, and that makes me feel good. To me, that's a person that has an empty life. That's an empty life. That's a life full of vanities. Vain. You think that materialism is gonna do something that's within you. You think the materialism is gonna solve a psychological problem. Nah, it's not gonna happen. Psychosis. As I said before, we all suffer from a degree of psychosis. Some worse than others, including myself. I'm not, I include myself. When I say everybody, I'm including myself. I'm not putting myself on some pedestal. I'm not operating on a different standard here. I live in this crazy world. I'm governed underneath this matrix system. So there's no way that I'm going to be 100% untouched, by the residual impact of this crazy system. There's no way. I will be. You will be. We all are. And you'll be a liar if you say you're not. So of course I'm in this parking lot. I'm the only one here. Feels good though. Feels good though. Yeah. Yeah, my wife, she has to go to a graduation ceremony, so she has to go somewhere early. She has to be there at 7, so I can't be at the gym long. I probably wouldn't be able to shower. I probably have to hurry up because I have to leave. She has to leave, so I have to be the one to take the kids to school before I go to work. So this morning is going to be a little bit is slightly off routine, which is going to insert a little bit of panic in the sense that I have to kind of make sure that I don't leave here too late. So I probably won't be able to do everything that I want to do because today I'm doing back and biceps. So yeah. I hate the way this camera view makes me look in here. It makes me look like wide and spread, and I'm not wide and spread. I'm actually like more lean. Like it makes me like I'm a blob, like I'm but I'm not actually. You know, cameras can be deceiving. You say cameras they give you they make you look 10 pounds bigger. That's what people say. They say see somebody on camera, it makes them look like they're 10 pounds heavier. Yeah. Man, it's like on my feeds on my phone, like when I scroll, because I have a Samsung Note 10 Plus. So when I like swipe to the left, I have this feature where I have Samsung News, and it's all these feeds about politics this, politics that, and me just being more insightful and knowing what's going on. I'm like, man, this is an actual ploy. This is a scam. You say, what am I talking about? I'm saying that it's all distractions. Like, politics is theater. I've said this a gazillion times. It's not real. It's a figment of our imagination. And people talking about Trump this, and there's gonna be a riot if Trump wins, and people get caught into that stuff. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us as people? We can't see. We can't. And I'm not here to say that I know it all. But what I do know, there's nothing inside this system that's 100% truthful. Anything that's contrived or conjured up or belched forth from this system is done with the intent to manipulate, and is done with the intent to distract. Even the jobs we work is a distraction, because we just believe that that's what we're supposed to do. No, jobs is a time consumer. The only gift we have is time, and the gift that we have, we're giving it to someone else. We're working because we've been brought up underneath this system in a prison planet, I might add, that tells you that you need to work in order to pay bills and live. No. Think about it for a second. I know it's hard for people to think of the alternative. There's enough resources on the planet for no one to work. Enough. You say, what do you mean? There's enough. We have enough technology to do the work for us. We don't need teachers. We don't need nurses. We don't need anybody. And the innovations that we've made thus far has come so far from where we were in the past that working should be eliminated. Now, there's certain people who like to do things out of the kindness of their heart. That's different. See, when you're doing things because it's something that you're driven to do, you become more at peace with yourself because you feel like you found your purpose. There's certain people that they love to take care of other people. That's what nursing really is. You have certain people that love to take care of children. They love to be around children. They'll do it for free. But most people are doing what they're doing because they love money. So money replaces the humanity in being human. The humane aspect of being human becomes eradicated immediately because everything that we do is chasing the dollar. Money. People will actually work years at a job that they detest. They'll keep going to a work that they hate because of money. And this is not me being critical of those kind of people, but that's to let you know what kind of system we're under. Because that person knows, if I don't go to work, I don't get my bills paid. If I don't go to work, there's no way for me to eat. And everything is just a distraction, because I think that if people were left to their own were left alone and left to their own thoughts. You know, the saying is that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. That's not necessarily true in the sense that that's also manipulation. The thought behind that is that if you're not doing something and if you're not busy, then you're going to be doing something bad. That's not necessarily true. If you're not busy, you're going to be doing something good for yourself. We're being treated like dogs. Keep the little dog busy, because if the dog's not busy, it's going to bite the couch. Take it for a walk. Keep it moving. We don't see that we're civilized slaves. And the quicker we embrace that truth, the better we are. It's the ones that think that they're free, and they think that in this, treacherous rat race that's created, and when everyone's chasing a dollar, not going anywhere, they feel like that's what life is about. And when your mortality starts to come to play, especially seeing my mom at her old age, how she's just declining in terms of her mental state, I'm starting to see like, man, all these things that are put in front of our faces by mainstream media, it's all distractions. And I'm not telling you not to listen to the news. I'm not telling you not to be updated to what's going on, because sometimes you can't even help it. You don't even have to watch the news, like sit down and watch news. But I mean, you hear messages all the time, like the Sean Puffy Combs thing that's going on. How can you not know that? It's on. They talk about it a lot. It's everywhere. There's certain things that you can't escape. But I'm talking about the people who live and die by the current narrative of the world. Like they keep up with politics. They really feel like if people go out there and vote, that things would change and this and that. We've been in this vicious cycle, and it's a cycle, a repeated cycle that's been going on for decades. And generations before us are still in that stupor that they can't even educate the youth and say, hey man, don't fall into the traps we did, because they're still brainwashed and hypnotized. They're still underneath that influence of thinking that politics and thinking that electing certain people is going to do something for your life. No, nothing. It's a lie. America is ruled by bankers. I've been saying this. They're ruled by banks. It's the people you guys are voting for are puppets. They're put there in a position. They're actors. Literally actors. You know, when you go to Hollywood, you have celebrities. They're actors. They're playing a personality. It's a game. It's like watching WWF or WWE and then thinking that wrestling is real. You think that these actors are hitting each other for real, or they're not punching each other. They're not hitting each other. Politics is a game. There's certain ones that really feel that are part of the politics that think that it's real. Then you have some that are in higher positions, like the Bidens and the Trumps. They know it's a game. They know it's a circus. That's assuming Biden is dead. Biden is gone. Who you guys see on television is not Biden. By the way, I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy. That's not Biden. That's artificial intelligence. They're using the face of Biden on a different body. He's never in an area where you can actually see him. They're usually putting him in an area where there's a green background, and they plagiarize the background, or he's on television reading a prompter, but he's in a setting where there's not real people. They can fake all that stuff. It's called CGI, computer generated imaging. It can be done. We have the technology to do it. We do it all the time. But see, if you're not looking for those things and you truly believe in the heart that these things are real, then if a person like me saying that, you're going to deem me crazy. Oh, he is alive. I saw him on TV. Really? Just because you see somebody on TV, that means they're alive. And Hillary Clinton is gone too. Look at before and after photos. Whoever Hillary is now, that's either a person that's either a mask, because they could put masks on people. It could be done. Artificial intelligence, you can use a person's voice, Like me, how I'm talking to you now, they can add a different face right here and still use my voice on a different face. It could be done. It's not hard. It's not complicated. There's software for that. That's not him anyway. But the point I'm making is that none of these clowns are going to do anything for you. It's political fodder. It's just theater. It's just junk. That's not real. It's just as fake as entertainment. Just like when you watch a movie and a car blows up and you get this emotional, stimulus or stimulant inside of you because you have a scene where somebody escapes death, theatrics, amusement, entertainment. That's what politics is. It's not real. But the reason why we think it's real because you're speaking to a realm that you're in, right? They're speaking to your situation. They're using the money as a means to draw you in. That's the way you tug at the heartstrings of people. You talk about the things that they're going through. Oh, I'm going to do things to lower your taxes. I'm going to do things to make the gas prices cheaper. We're going to do, you see, they're talking about things that we deal with every day. But these things that we deal with every day is a corrupt system. We are underneath and being governed by a corrupt system. All right? That at its motive is done for control, greed factors. And we're slaves. That's what we are. That's what slavery is. You don't have a choice. You have to do this in order to get this. We're not really free. We're free to be slaves. That's it. And so when you're governed by that, then you put politics, you incorporate politics in there that speaks to your slavery, your slave condition, your condition of slaveryhood, if I could coin that phrase. Now you're in there. Now it pulls at your heartstrings. So now it appeals to you. You're like, oh yeah, that could make my slave situation better. I'm going to pick this guy. Or this guy's saying what I want. Or I'm a Republican. No, I'm a Democrat. No, I'm a left. No, I'm a right. No, I'm a liberal. No, I'm a liberal conservative. Not circus, man. Circus. And everybody's picking what part of the political system they fall under. Not knowing that these people have incorporated a psychological system, all drudged up by the CIA, because they understand how the human psyche works. It's like rats that are functioning in a laboratory. And you just conduct social experiments on the rats. Just say, okay, I'm going to do this and see how they all respond. We are being played. We are the test subjects. And we are the dummies. The pendulum swings every time they incorporate certain political things. People shift. Whatever CNN and Fox News says, we just shift. Do you know they say Trump is racist? No, they say no. Trump is not really racist. He likes black people. Who gives I don't give a F what Trump thinks. You know what I care about? I care about what this man thinks. I care about my own house and I care about my own family. F everything else that's outside of that. In that sense, we need to be selfish. And then you could tie in religion into politics too, right? You go to church, they tell you gotta be conservative, traditional values. Man, we're so gone, man. It's getting hard for me not to even listen to anybody that starts to talk about religion. I just tune out because I know that you're far gone. Once you start thinking on that plane of somebody or something that we need to pray and God's gonna make everything better, times are getting worse. Yeah, times are getting worse because we continue to stay in the state of being docile, pacifist, because we think that's something. No, there's no one. I saw this thumbnail. I forgot who it was from. I saw it. It says it had these different deities. It has like Vishnu, Buddha, Jesus, Allah. It had like these different religious figures. There were caricatures of them. They were like they were put in like cartoon form. Not cartoon form, but more in an animated form. Not like real life imaging like me. As you see me on this video, not like that. Not like a real picture of a real person. And it had all these deities, all these people that are being worshipped. And he says, we are not going to save you. We're not going to save you, man. Your ancestors of the past thought the same ish. They thought that someday Jesus is going to come. He never comes. He's not coming. He never came. The stories you've been told are all lies. Because everything that you're believing is still coming from this fake system. There's nothing in the system that you can run to for a respite from the disease of manipulation and deception that we're being governed by. Because even the things that you're running to that you think are safe havens are part of the deception. That's part of the social environment that you're in. That's part of the social experiment that you're being governed by. And you think, oh, if I go to church here and pray here and elect if I elect the person that's right, if I do this by God, and things will be right. No, things are never going to be right. Not until we understand how things are actually work. The best way to control people is to keep them blind and ignorant, and to give them the idea or the misnomer that they're knowledgeable. That's what religious people are. They think they have all the answers. Oh, it's because of our sin. Oh, it's because we need to give ourselves to God. Oh, it's because this country is moving away. It has nothing to do with that. I was listening to Jason Whitlock the other day talking about the country needs to go back to biblical values. I'm like, biblical values? Like, when were biblical values ever here? You mean you're talking about the Europeans that came here to stole the lands from the original people? Those biblical values? Are you talking about the corrupt government? That biblical value? What biblical value are you talking about? We never had biblical values. We had good people. We had good-hearted people. People naturally mean good. You know, and Jason Whitlock had this thing. He had like a segment. He showed the Pope. And he said how the Pope was saying something that doesn't fall in line with the biblical worldview. And the Pope mentioned something about everyone's heart is good. People actually have good hearts. And then, of course, Jason Whitlock shows an excerpt of a video, and it has these men, of course, with these Bibles open, and they're saying, the God says the heart is desperately wicked. I don't want to serve a effing God like that. Don't effing tell me my heart is wicked when we're put underneath a system that puts so much pressure on us that it forces us to do things that we normally do not want to do. We normally should not be working. People should not be going to a place they hate every day just to pay bills. We're being stolen from every day by the system. They take taxes. They put their boots on our damn necks. You have people having to work 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet. We live in a system that hangs materials all over on top of us as nuggets to pressure us into thinking that the more we get, the better we're going to become, and the happier that we're going to become. We're being governed with manipulation. And then you're telling me that my heart's desperately wicked? Get the F out of here. I'm not going to that's like a newborn baby. You tell a newborn baby, right when it comes to the planet Earth, your heart is desperately wicked. You're evil. You're a sinner. No. That's mental illness. To continue to tell yourself that your heart is wicked. Look what kind of state that puts you in. If you go back in my videos, I had a video where I show Hawkins' consciousness scale. And it's a consciousness scale that he didn't really create it. Most of these things that these Europeans get, they stole from ancient Africa. But for the sake of this video, it was called Hawkins' consciousness scale. It was a pyramid. It was an inverted pyramid. It was upside down. And it showed the emotional states that are in hell. Hell is a mind state. People keep thinking heaven and hell is a place. No, everything is in the mind. We're electrical beings. The physical realm doesn't even exist. But that's a whole subject for another day. All right? It's in the mind. God resides between the temple. The temples, this is your temple, and God is in the middle. Your perception, how you think, is what dictates your heavenly mind state or your hellish mind state. To come into the world thinking that your heart's wicked, to continually tell yourself that all the time. My heart is wicked. My heart is wicked. My heart is wicked. That's insanity. You're putting yourself in a hellish state already. Yet you're putting yourself volitionally in a hellish state from a book that tells you that this is the means to go to heaven. Can't you see the deception in that practice? I'm telling you heaven here, but what I'm telling you to do to get here is hell. But here's heaven. I'm going to put you in a condition of hell to make you believe that someday that after you die and leave this planet, you're going to go to a physical place called heaven. That doesn't make any damn sense. This is physical. Laws of physics. The world we live in is physical. Y'all serve a spiritual God, but yet think that you're going to go to a physical heaven? No, heaven is in the mind. It's spiritual. It's in spiral, spirit. It's inside, spiral, spiritual energy. It's in you. And it's continually moving like a spiral. Spirit, inspire, inside you, inspiration, spiritual. Inspire your nation. It's all in you. So this idiot to have these Bibles open. In Malachi, it says the heart is wicked. In Matthew, it says, I don't give a damn what a book says. People are only functioning the way they're functioning because it's phases in life. People go through phases. See, Jason Whitlock, in his mid-50s, he's not the same way he was in his 20s. I'm not the same way I was in my 20s. Yeah, the things that I did when I was in my 20s were low vibrational stuff because I was lost. I was a youth. I was stubborn. I was trying to find myself. Everyone goes through those phases. Everyone. Yeah, not at his 50, he's holier than thou. He sits on his soapbox. He talks about people he talks down about people who go to strip clubs. He talks down about people who live a debauched lifestyle. Yet he did those same things when he was younger. Everybody did those things when they were younger. Now, personally, me, I didn't go to strip clubs, but I went to clubs. I've never been into strip clubs. But the mentality that I have now is not because God changed my heart. It's because I've grown, I've matured. There are phases in life. Our early ancestors taught that. They taught it with the same way. They aligned their emotional states as the way the sun functions. The sun comes out at high noon, the most stubborn part of the day where the sun is beaming. Then you have a part of the day where when the sun sets, it starts to get calmer. That happens with us. As we age, we get calmer. We're not as wild. We're not as sporadic. We're not temperamental. Our frontal lobes are fully developed. It's scientific. There's scientific reasons why a 4 or 5-year-old acts the way they do. It's not because they're sinners, they're kids. We have to teach them the way. You don't tell a child that you're a sinner, that your heart is wicked. That's a form of mental abuse. I guess we need to break them down, make them think that they're evil, so to make them feel like they need something to save them. Get the F out of here with that nonsense. My heart's not wicked. My heart's not wicked. And anyone who believes that their heart is wicked, that's on you. I'm not gonna claim that over myself. I'll tell you that much. I just know that there's a balance in life. There are things that we do. It's not about being sinful or being righteous. It's about functioning, doing things that are high frequency and doing things that are low frequency. Doing things that possess high vibrational outcomes and doing things that possess low vibrational outcomes. If you're a person that's always angry, that you live in guilt, that you live in shame, that's low vibrational. Okay? And there are other kinds of actions that are more high vibrational, like love, caring about other people, meditating, thinking about other people more than yourself. Things like that. Those things are high vibrational. It's not about being sinful. We've come into this thing like, oh, you did wrong. It's so primitive. Uh-oh, you said a curse word. Uh-oh, you sinned. You see the relation? When kids were little, oh, he cursed. Now that we're older, oh, he sinned. Same thing. Different wordplay, semantics. We need to get out of that sick, primitive, childish paradigm that puts us in this little box of being idiots. No, man, we evolve. We evolve. We evolve. We evolve. Why do you think young little kids don't care about going to church? It's not because they don't care about God. They're trying to find themselves. They know that they're not going to find it in there. And most kids that go to church every Sunday is because they're being forced by their parents. They feel like this is going to make my mom and dad happy, which is why most of them, when they get older and get more independent, they get the hell out of the church because they're like, I was forced to go there. That was not a natural thing for me. I just did it because I grew up in a household that made me do it. So I had no choice. When they get older, they're like, okay, I'm done with that. People have to find themselves. And so, yes, if you're into porn and into women and into things of the world, that's low vibrational. It doesn't mean that you're a sinner, that you deserve to be in some place being burned forever. You're trying to find yourself. And as you get older and you experience these things, you start to realize, okay, those things are not meaningful. And you usually get there in your mid-30s, 40s. As men, I can't speak for women, but that's what happens. That's why when men are young in their early 20s, it's hard for them to be faithful. You can't tell a 20-year-old you need to get married. They're going to look at you like, hell no, I'm not getting married. It's too many women around here to chase. You know, now you have some, it's rare that you have some who are that mature. But guys don't get mature to their late 20s, early 30s. Brain-wise mature. You can act mature, but your biochemistry is not mature. So you're going to do things that are immature or do things that are low vibrational. And even those low vibrational acts are still needed to keep us in balance, because you can't have too much of one thing without the other, because the other thing gives value to the other and the other thing devalues the other. You need both to operate within the same referent. It's all about balance. It's like the yin and yang principle. It's like the up and down principle, the good and evil principle, the law of duality. It's all around us. So to continue to tell yourself that I'm a sinner, that's an overemphasis on you being a bad person. Then there's no good that you can do, right? Because there's no one good but this one God and everybody else is evil. Get the hell out of here. You're brainwashing yourself to be a mental destitute. That's what you're doing. Bereft of common sense. You lack it. You need something outside of you to come save you. Get out of here. That's why we're docile. Then we pray, God elect. And you have people who pray that God let Trump win. The idiots. How about you pray that you win? How about that? How about you pray for yourself? But yeah, how about you meditate and work on yourself and stop worrying about somebody or something outside you that's gonna come save you. Get out of here, man. We're gonna save ourselves. All right. You came into this world. Your mother pushed you out of her womb. Humanity saves humanity. We have to come together and save ourselves. You came into this life by a human, and we need to preserve ourselves as human beings, not looking for some power or some force outside of us to come save the day. Superman's not coming, folks. You be your own Superman. And stop letting the narrative of the world shape your minds. All right, I'm out. It's 4:52. Thank you guys for indulging me. This is like the longest morning workout talk that I've done, because usually I'm not here this early, so I was able to ramble a little bit more. All right, thank you guys for indulging me, and I'll see you guys on Monday for another morning workout talk. All right, bye.